Sim racing nowadays is in a particularly good state, both in terms of the games, but also in terms of the hardware. Nowadays, we can have a really good setup for not too much money. And when compared to, say, 5, 6 years ago, you can have for the same amount of money something insanely better. For the PC, if you have the patience to pick and choose parts, you can have something that will last you for years, and the performance is absolutely phenomenal. So that's what we're going to do today. Pick up parts for sim racing rigs from multiple brands so you have something that is actually premium and still budget. For this video, I'm also going to need your help. Leave in the comments some of your options to make a really good high-end budget experience. But first, a big thank you to all the members and subscribers. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. I'm trying to get 100,000 subscribers. It's not too far away. If you find these videos helpful and you enjoy them, press like and subscribe. That helps a lot. And also, why not become a member? Thank you. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Coach Dave Academy Delta. Coach Dave Academy is the premier sim racing resource to help you become the best sim racer you can be. You'll have access to telemetry, setups made by pro esports drivers like Yuri Kazdorp, reference laps, and coaching covering titles like iRacing, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Le Mans Ultimate, and Gran Turismo 7. Join in today, link in the description. I'm going to mention a few brands. I have affiliate links in the description for some of them if you want to use them and help the channel out. There will be multiple ways to go around this problem. It will depend on your objective of what type of racing you are doing. It will depend on your geographical area. In some areas, it might be cheaper going one way and you have a lot of quality. And if you choose the same way in another area, it might be overspending and then it's not worth your while. A lot of what I'm going to say will depend, of course, of where you are going to install this equipment. I would always recommend a rig of sorts. This is an example with GT Omega. There are many other rigs out there. You can get them in other companies. If you are in the United States, always go to a micro center first, and of course, check your secondhand market. For rigs, I will always recommend that you choose a rig with at least a 40 width extruded aluminum. There, for example, this Prime Light R Cockpit, which will have the 20, which is just one rail, but there are reports that this is not sturdy enough. Prime Light cockpits, like many other cockpits of this type, the Track Racer 40 and many others out there, will be more than enough. Things you need to be with attention with would be the pedal tray. Make sure that there are reports that the pedal tray is actually sturdy, that has some adaptability to different types of pedals. And of course, the desk tray or the wheel tray, that it's going to be sturdy. As for the sim racing equipment itself, the wheelbase, and the pedals, there are a couple of ways to go at it. There's the cheapest version of it, which will be probably the most important for a lot of people. They are really price conscious. You can go towards bundles. It's not the way that I will recommend it because you can really maximize your performance and your experience by picking and choosing. It will be more expensive. But if you are really price sensitive, stuff like the Ready to Race 5 and 8 meters would be good ideas. For example, they have more options with this, for example, the Ready to Race F1 Esports, if you want something a little more Formula 1, or if you want really a load cell. But then again, when you start looking at these prices, there are better choices. Mazda, for example, also has the R5 bundle. You can expand on these R5 bundles. They are also really good as well. And they have the R9 bundles. But depending on what you're going to choose, there might be other options there as well. For the second way, it will be the way that I recommend. This video is about maximizing your bang for the buck to have something a little more rounded off other than just a bundle. That will suit most people, but having something a little more rounded off where you feel that you are having more for the money you are going to spend. For the second way, it will depend on the few things. It will depend on your geography. Some of the things that I'm going to mention in some areas might not be the case that are useful or as good in other geographical areas. It's going to depend on the quick release, and it's really going to depend on the wheelbase that you choose, because some of the choices with the wheelbase will be naturally better than other choices with another wheelbase for the wheels you're going to use. With Logitech, might be one of the best quick releases out there because it's basically both true for the most popular mounting patterns, which will be 6x70. If you go to the NRG style, which is available for Mazda, PXN, Simagic, and a lot of brands, this is going to be a little more difficult because it's not bolt true. You will need some sort of converter or extender to make sure that you can attach the quick release to a third-party wheel. For Fanatec, there are third-party options of their mounting system. If you have a bunch of Fanatec quick releases staying around you, you will need some sort of adapter plate that will be able to convert the mounting from Fanatec into the new type of mounting, and this is an extra cost besides of the emulator. The quick release will define the use or the choices of the wheelbases going forward. For the wheelbases that I'm going to recommend, there will be Mazda, Simagic, and Logitech in between the 9 and 12 Newton meters, depending on prices, because some of the wheelbases will be definitely more expensive. And once again, depending on geography, these prices are, for example, for the United Kingdom. For the R9, these two bundles are the ones that I recommend for bang for the buck. The KS is actually pretty decent. It's not the best wheel out there. It doesn't need to be. It's more of an entry-level type of thing, but it does everything well, actually in really decent style. Same with the GS. Feels much more quality than the KS. It feels less rattly than the KS. And I really like this wheel. These two are actually pretty nicely priced in the United Kingdom, and it will cover you basically most of the bases for stuff like Formula One, GT3 driving, or prototypes. However, if you really want to maximize the bang for the buck, you can also go towards just the steering wheel by itself and buy something else like a Simagic wheel we'll have a look at in a bit. In United Kingdom, not so much in United States, I think the really big one at the moment in terms of price to performance is the RS50. I wasn't really expecting this wheelbase to be so good. They're essentially, the same power. R9 has 9, this one has 8 Newton meters, but it's 100 pounds cheaper. And with 100 pounds, you can actually do quite a lot of things. You can buy the quick release that is available for about 60. You still have money saved over for another thing if you want to do that. In my opinion, this wheelbase is completely underrated because everybody thinks that Logitech can't do really good wheelbases, but in reality, they do a lot of really good wheelbases out there. Now, there's also another choice depending on your area that might be better. For example, this will be around 350 for the PC in the United States. Not sure about your area. And the Simagic Alpha Evo Sport, the 9 meter one, very good wheelbase, is $399. For a lot of people, this will be a better choice because of the wheels and because of the quick release, how plentiful it is and cheaper it is out there. And in between all the three, it will really depend on where you want to go in terms of the wheel, because the wheel choice will also impact your choice of wheelbase. There's another option over here if you want to stay with Mazda. That is more expensive, but it is in the Goldilocks area, which will be the Mazda R12 V2. I had the R12 V1 for review. Pretty nice wheelbase, and this apparently fixes some of the issues, and the force feedback is truly fantastic as well. In terms of wheel, there are good choices, which I already mentioned, the KS and the GS, but I would only recommend those two if you are sticking with Mazda. If you are going everywhere else, and sometimes even with Mazda, I would recommend the Simagic GT Neo because it is a really good wheel for the price. This is basically CMUP compatible, so it will have all the lights. It is a really convenient wheel to use and has all the features out there, and it doesn't really break the bank. This thing is $269 depending on your area. It more expensive, less expensive, and you can use this with any other wheelbase as well. There is a converter called the MagLink that will basically convert the rear of this wheel into the new standard. You can use this one, you can use Mazda, you can use whatever else, and then connect it to a free USB slot. So essentially, depending on your area, you can have something like a RS50 base with a Simagic GT Neo, and have something really truly kick-ass for not much money, because this is $250 and the other one will be around $270-ish with the converter. And for over 500 pounds, you have something really, really good. If you go that way with Simagic, it will be around more of the $650. $700 depending on the area. We can talk about which choice or which combo is better. It will all depending on your geography or what type of force feedback that you like. For pedals, things are a little bit different. There are a lot of pedals out there from brands like Fanatec, Simagic, Moza. You can name whatever. They are pretty decent. But if you really want to maximize the bang for your buck, there's something really crazy out there, and I wasn't really expecting to be this good. And that will be the Hoisin clones. I'm going to talk about 3 pedals. I've only used one of these, but generally they'll tend to be quite similar. There will be the Simruitos, there will be the Simpsons, and there will be the Simnet. It will really depend on the area that you are. And these things compared to the likes of the Fanatec CSL V2s, which I really love as pedals, or compared to the CRP2s, or compared to P1000s, or whatever, this has like the maximum amount of bang for the buck that I've ever seen. The Simruitos and the Simpsons should be very, very similar in terms of use. I had the Plus X to use, and honestly, it was a pretty decent pedal set. I wasn't too sure about the damper, and the damper was kind of, squeaky. It wasn't really that good, and in some cases, the quality of control wasn't really the best. You can't really expect more for the price they're asking. Generally, you can have 2 pedal set for 199 pounds, dollars. You can have them for much less in United Kingdom, 126 pounds at the moment, or you can even buy them in Amazon and stuff like that. I mean, amazing bang for the buck. Another choice that is out there, this one will be Simnet. Simnet has the advantage of being compatible with the Fanatec system. So that means if you are already on a Fanatec system, you can connect this to the back of your steering wheel and use them for the PC. And this could be also a good indication of what you can choose from the beginning. Say if you want to really use this on a PlayStation, you can go for a DD Pro. It's 8 Newton meters. It's still okay, but some of the choices or things that I'm going to say here will be definitely more expensive because it's PlayStation, and you can have actually a pretty decent pedal set like this on the Fanatec using it on the PlayStation. So it is really interesting to see where the state of pedals are, and pedals are really the most important thing you're going to have in your sim rig, because this is where basically all of the time is won or lost. We can talk about force feedback, what the force feedback is here and there, but generally there's 0 between the force feedback. But with a good pedal set compared to a Hall effect, or compared to a regular pedal set from a G29, for example, pedals like this can gain you literally seconds. These are some of the options available out there. I'm pretty sure that there are other combinations of wheels and wheelbases and pedals that are actually quite good. You end up having something as good or better as I've recommended or I've shown you, and that's why I need you to write in the comments which combinations of equipment would you choose for your region, and please also mention the region you are on as well. I hope that you found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.